Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Cautionary tale. An argument over loud music at a Lauderhill, Florida apartment complex parking lot left one woman dead on Christmas night. Check it out.
Off the top here at 10 o'clock, video of a heated argument between neighbors, and this face-off would turn fatal. Hello and welcome, everyone. That dispute turning deadly.
It did, and it began when a woman pulled out a gun. The Night Team's Maricela Burgos is live at Lauderhill Police Headquarters with more. Maricela.
Joe, and we do have new information. Police have identified the woman who was killed as 36-year-old Octavia Stewart. Now, this did start as an argument, and there is cell phone video. You'll see some of it. We paused it because it's very graphic. This argument in the parking lot of a Lauderhill apartment complex tragically turned deadly Christmas night.
You ain't did none of this.
Police officers say they found a woman dead at the Sunny Lake Apartments after neighbors got into an argument. During the argument, you can clearly see a woman in an orange dress on cell phone video with a gun in her hand. Then she raised the gun up, pointing it. We paused the video because it's too graphic. You then see a man shoot her as people screamed.
In reference to someone that was suffering from a gunshot wound to the head, the caller is a passerby.
Neighbors say the argument between people at two apartments had started over loud music and parking. They say the tension had been boiling for more than a day. Now, police say they have identified everyone who was involved in this, including witnesses. They say all of them are cooperating. No one has been arrested. Lauderhill police detectives are still investigating this case.
Okay, family. Off rip. Condolences to the family. Condolences to all involved, all affected by this tragedy. But she brought that on herself, fam. Yeah, man, she brought that on herself. Family, y'all gotta stop playing with these guns. Guns are nothing to play with. Anytime you point a gun at something, you better be squeezing the trigger. You should never, ever, ever point a gun at something that you are not prepared to destroy. That's gun ownership 101, fam. You gotta know that. This woman put a gun to the other woman's head. I don't know who the dude was who shot her, but, obviously he had some type of relationship with the person who she pointed the gun at. And the thing about it is that a lot of times people have guns and they pull out a gun and they think they're the only ones with a gun. They think they're the only ones who have a gun. There was a guy who got killed at a taqueria in Houston. This may have been 3 years ago, something like that. He came in waving a gun, made everybody get out and all that stuff. And as he was leaving, one of the guys pulled out a gun and clapped him, knocked him all the way down. Hit him about 7 or 8 times. And they were considering pressing charges against the dude, but that was a huge public outcry. Like, no, man, this dude came in here trying to rob folks, and threatening people's lives and stuff. And, he got what he deserved. And, we know he got family, fam, but so did the people that he was threatening. We know that woman had family. Octavia had family. But so did the woman who's had the gun put to her head. The woman who she put the gun to her head, she had family too. And the thing about that is that they can say, well, she wasn't going to shoot her. She was just trying to scare her. Yeah, well, a whole lot of times when you point a gun at something, that gun go off and it ends up killing somebody. So you cannot point a gun at anything that you're not ready to destroy. She had that gun, she pulled it out. She thought she was in total control the way she was handling it. She had the gun out. She was just looking right here. She wasn't looking around. She didn't have any situational awareness whatsoever. You're arguing with neighbors. Arguing with a neighbor is one of the most stressful things a person can go through. This is where you lie your head. And sometimes you just happen to have loud neighbors. And the closer you live to your neighbor, the more likely you're going to have to deal with their noise and other antics that might not be so nice. You know, I had a townhouse once and I lived right next door. I shared a wall with my neighbor. I came home one night, maybe like it had to be about 2:30 a.m., something like that. Do you know, these nuts was inside of the house playing instruments, drum, tuba, sax, violin, everything. They playing the good, man. I had to catch myself. I just called security and told them, hey, look, woo woo. They went over and shut them down. I realized that these people are uncivilized. So the best thing that I can do is just have a conversation with them, wait till it's over. Don't do it in the heat of things. Because a lot of times when people are having fun, they're drinking, and you might go over there with good intentions, but somebody might answer the door sloppy drunk. Yeah, what you want? Cutting down me? Oh, man. Hey, where you live at? Who are you? You know, they start saying corny stuff. They might get under your skin. You might go, well, come on in and party. You don't want to party? Okay, well, fuck you then, dude. You know, people just are uncivilized oftentimes. When you mix in alcohol and drugs and all that type of stuff and music, people having a good time, man, you don't know what you're walking into. So oftentimes it's best, unless you have a relationship with the people next door and y'all have a mutual respect for one another, you're probably best off not approaching that person at all. This way, you don't have to go out there strapped and be prepared to handle your business, and they don't have to be prepared to handle their business against you, because you may go to somebody's house and you think you got things under control and you think you running something, and man, you ain't running nothing but your mouth, because everybody ain't scared. Some people will lay you down, and you got to understand this, family. If somebody is making noise like that, they constantly making loud noise, they know they got neighbors, they know it's other people in close proximity to that noise, but they don't care because they're uncivilized. So you have to think about the situation. They got to be uncivilized to act the way that they act, right? So it's best that you try to figure out a way to de-escalate the situation. Now, unless you want drama, unless you're looking for contact, then I would advise you to fall back. If you got to call the pigs, I've been hanging around Fred Hampton Jr. too much. But if you got to call the police, you call the police. If you got to call security, you call security management, whatever, if you're living in an apartment complex. And let me tell you something about living in an apartment complex or a townhouse community. Anytime you living that close to a neighbor where you step out of your door and you take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps and you at their house already, or maybe they right across the hallway from you, you got to take 10 steps. Listen, man, that comes with the territory. Neighbors running up, running above you, that comes with the territory. making too much noise, having a shared wall, people, boom, 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 that comes with territory. In fact, the same townhouse that I'm speaking of, that I used to own, on the other side of me, there was some renters who was taking care of their business, and I could hear them whenever they're taking care of their business. So, the first time I just tried to ignore it, because I don't want to be listening to this, you know what I mean? So, the second time, I saw the dude outside, and let me back up. It was the woman, because the dude was a neighbor. The dude was a visitor. It was the woman. So I was like, hey, no disrespect, but I just want to let you know, these walls are very, very thin. And if you can hear me, I can hear you. And I never heard them again. You see? So you have to try to practice a little civility yourself. You gotta think about what the outcome it is that you want. If you live in an apartment complex or you're living in a house and your neighbors are too loud, if you don't plan to move, then you wanna have peace with your neighbors, because neighbors have to look out for each other. So you wanna have peace. So the best thing to do is swallow your pride, go over to, have a conversation with your neighbor. Hey man, hey, look here, we looking out for each other. Ooh, hey, but look man, I ain't tripping on y'all. I know y'all like to have fun, turn your music up, man. But man, can you give me a break on Fridays? Or can you give me a break at this time? Because I'll be trying to get some sleep around this time. You just bring it down a little bit, man, I appreciate it. Most people will respect that request. Most people. And then sometimes, fam, you just have to get the hell up out of there. Half the time, if you move into a multi-unit complex, it's going to be some problems. You're going to have some noise problems. That's just how it is. That just goes with the territory. You're going to have some issues with parking. People going to park in your spot from time to time. They're going to park across the line. They're going to just they might have their clothes hanging out, off the balcony or something, And it doesn't matter if you're paying $600 a month or $6,000 a month. Some people are just uncivilized. Some people just have no class, and you just have to deal with it. Or you move, go get you a house on some acreage or whatever, and then you be all to yourself, and you ain't got to worry about all that kind of stuff, But you just have to remember, fam, when you live in close proximity to your neighbors, and your front door is just a few steps from their front door, it's give and take. It's a lot of compromising, and it's a whole lot more respect. No more talk.